Welcome to I'd Play That for $1, the internet's premier budget gaming podcast, powered by the World 1-1 Podcast Network. I am, as always, your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder, and joining me here in the dollar store is Zoe Wifed Up Giver.
Hi.
And Josh Needs a Pointy Wizard Hat LeGrew.
Hello.
And every week, we bring you rapid-fire roundtable reviews of games that we got our grubby little mitts on for $1 or less. So, this week, let's jump in and start right off with Zoe. What you got this week?
Okay, so I have a game called Tales of Grimm, and it's called that because it's based off of the Grimm tales.
So kind of
Grimm's
like
Fairy Tales.
What's that Telltale game?
Oh, Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us, yeah.
And so I clicked on it because I'm a huge Disney fan.
Sure.
So anything anywhere remotely in that realm is something that I like that I fucks with. So I was like, cool. And it was also like spooky, and it looked like, the characters just even in like the trailer thingy looked like they were going to be like evil Disney-esque characters. And I was like, okay,
Sure.
even better.
You're in. Yep.
And so, I play the game. The opening story is pretty good. And then here comes the gameplay, and I hated it. It lasts all of 5 minutes on my phone, because I got it off Google Play. I forgot to mention that. And the tutorial was all click here, now do this. And I'm like, and then you get to these battle things, and they do the battle entirely for you. You don't even get to pick your next attack. You just go into battle, and all of a sudden people are throwing things. And then right when I started the game, because it's like a multiplayer game and people can join you to do the thing with you. And so I added this person to, and I guess they must have been super powerful because they were killing all these people in 3 seconds. And I'm just like, this is not fun, at all. And then I uninstalled the game quickly after I installed it.
Josh, this sounds like that one that you got into a couple years back. What was it? Legends of Dragalia Lost?
Dragalia Lost.
Yeah.
But I actually was into that for many weeks.
Dude, you were into that for months.
Yeah, Kathy and I. We loved that game.
Uh-huh. Oh, God, throwback days.
That's something Zoe should try.
Okay.
I think they might be shutting that down. I think it's going away.
I know. So get on it now, Zoe.
What's the name of it?
Dragalia Lost. It's a Nintendo game, believe it or not.
Okay.
Nintendo did a few mobile games, so
I think they're shutting down all their mobile games, kind of, but
yeah. But no, so since this game only survived on your phone for 5 minutes, which is approximately 1.25 Chad Kroger songs, how many mobile ads did you get served up before the 5 minutes hit and you said, fuck this shit?
I didn't hit any because I was still in the tutorial phase of the game before I said, fuck it.
wow.
So what I'm hearing is they should have crammed in approximately 70% more mobile ads.
Apparently, if they wanted
Well,
if they
it's
wanted
kinda
any sort of revenue.
When you watch a show on streaming, they always the first 20 minutes. Let's say it's an hour show, the first 20 minutes, they have no ads. But the last 40 minutes will have 6 ads.
Yep. It's because they know they got you hooked.
Yep. And it just didn't hook Zoe.
Apparently
yeah, no.
not.
The premise was great. And I was like, cool, this is going to be boss. The story was not. And I'm like, I don't even care to get through the rest of this to see where it goes. I'm not going to sit here and play. And I use the word play very fucking loosely because you're not doing shit. You're not playing, you're button clicking. And, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that just to see where this story, fuck that.
This makes me wonder now if somebody's out there doing YouTube lore videos of every mobile game they can get their hands on.
They're not. We could.
I feel like somebody's got to be doing this shit. It's got to exist. It's YouTube. Everything's on YouTube.
I guess. You just gotta know how to search it.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Actually, Zoe and I ran into that a couple of days ago, actually. Because I found something that Zoe was looking for, and she's all like, how did you find that? I've been wanting just like that exact thing, and I don't know how to search for it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm like, just, selective word choice.
Yes, that's what it is.
So
I had problems expressing myself. Me and words no work.
You and Fahuba Gods don't get along very well.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently you're not gonna play this for $1.
No. Like, I
mean,
wouldn't
you're gonna
even
get
play
Asian
it.
It should give you money, right?
I was about to say, I'm like,
Mhm.
I might play it if you gave me $1, maybe like $5, and I would play this game for a little longer. But like, I'm not giving anyone any money for this game.
What I'm hearing is we need to call up like Agent 47, slip him a picture of Chad Kroger, and put this game out of its fucking misery.
Yes.
Excellent. So if we can get him to like snipe Chad Kroger square between the eyes while he's playing this piece of shit on his cell phone, that's like a double kill.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. 1 down, 2 to go. LeGrew, what you got?
All right, so this is a bargain bin thrift store find, and I know Larry likes these because you're already in a thrift store and you're getting a bargain bin.
We're gonna get you a head wrap and call you Bargain Bin Laden.
No, we're not, but
it's that or the wizard hat. Pick one.
well, then I'm gonna pick the
Neither-
wizard hat every
yeah.
time. Every time, Larry. Age of Empires 3. Now, if you went to buy this just online, it's like $40 still. And so I know it's crazy. So, but look at your pawn shops, look at your thrift shops, look at, garage sales like I do. I'm a total nerd that does all that stuff. And Larry loves this. It says PC CD-ROM. Like you have to tell it,
buddy. You get a real life coaster in the box still.
Yep. Yeah, and they work. I put them on my retro PC and it works. It's got a good CD key, and that's how I played this game. I've never played this one before. So Age of Empires 3 it's from 2005. It's not the new Age of Empires 3. This is the old one. This old one takes place after Age of Empires 2, which is King of Kings or whatever they call it, or Reign of Kings. I can't remember what they called Age of Empires 2. But anyway, so you take the place of you're a European nation colonizing North and South America. I know it sounds kind of weird, but for Age of Empires, that's kind of what it is, right? It's like, yeah, it's a real-time
standard Age of Empires fare.
Yeah, it's just a different storyline than we're used to. It's not, it's not the Roman ancient Greek times. It's it's not the king times. So they're advancing the timeline. It takes place like among like 300 years. I think it's something like 1200 to 1500. It's what it's
about right.
It's what it's supposed to take place in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really enjoy it. I just played about 2 hours. I'm not really like super into it yet, but I want to get into it again, like back into it. And on my PC that I have, my retro PC, which is just honestly, it's just a Pentium PC right now that I'm using. That is just a friend gave me. That it's awesome, and so works fine on it, and I'm just happy to keep playing it.
Nice.
You got any questions so far? Or
now, I'm curious how much history and rapport do you have with the Age of Empires series in general?
Okay, so I think I like. Here's the thing. I got into Age of Empires, not really into it, but the first one. I think it was like 95 or 93 or 91, whatever the year that was when it came out.
Yeah, it was ages ago.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, yeah, for me too. But I was young. I was a young kid, and I remember because I had to borrow my dad's PC to play games like this. But this was groundbreaking because it was a real-time strategy on the PC that wasn't like Warcraft, or it wasn't anything. It was something different, and Microsoft really hit because they had these great. It was probably one of the first games that had like a cinematic sequence that opened, because
Okay.
it used a CD-ROM, and that
Yeah.
was like not heard of back in the day, right? And so I got into it just for that alone, and I remember playing it, enjoying it, but I just was kind of like I think I was just a little too young to kind of like really,
Wrap your
my
head
dad,
around it.
yeah, my dad loved it. I'd like to go back and play Mario, and I just wanted to go and play that whatever game on my SNES or whatever I had back then, or my Nintendo 64 or whatever I had. I just wanted to
Right.
go do that. My
You
dad
weren't
was
ready
like,
for real-time strategy at that age.
yeah, not really. My dad was like,
Not a lot of kids were, though, if you think about it.
no, I mean, I did enjoy it though. I did get kind of hooked by it for a while, and then I'm like, oh, it's got too hard. I'm managing all this stuff. I didn't understand it was like supposed to be fun that way, but my dad my dad was really into it. He was like, oh yeah. He was always playing that, so I was like, okay, cool. So I wanted to see what it was about. But yeah, I mean, so when I got to like the age that I actually like these kind of games, I think I really started with like World of Warcraft, or not World of Warcraft, but Warcraft, Warcraft, the first game. And then I kind of got into these games. And so I kind of like these games now, especially as an adult. They're kind of zen for me. You're just kind of like, oh. But then when you get attacked, it's kind of like, oh, I've got to actually do something here. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Right.
I'm not good at them, by the way. I'm not good at these at all. Like if
I would
cheat codes, I'm like all about it.
I would like to take a moment to validate enjoying games and genres that you are not good at, but you still fucking love them anyways.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way with strategy shit too. Like, I'm not great at it, because that's right up there with chess for me. I'm not great at it. I know how to play. I'm not good at it, but I still have fun with it.
Yeah. Like, I
Mhm.
love it. I just love playing. So I like the online aspects of these games, but like obviously now, because we're playing in 2022, these games don't really have any online aspects to them anymore.
Yeah, those servers are long since dead.
Yeah, but I like, at the time that these games came out, like I couldn't afford online because that was a thing. Like, it was expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like $60 back in 2005 would probably be well over 100 today, and I just probably 105 or so, 110 today, and I just couldn't afford that. So I was like, yeah. I took the free. My only like dabbling with online back then was I would take the free like 60 days that they'd offer, and maybe pay for one more month and then quit it.
Right. You at least had the good sense to stop when you weren't gonna get anything out of it anymore.
Right.
Instead of letting it roll. So nice. So final verdict: Chad Kroger in the dumpster behind the Applebee's, or play that for $1?
I'm gonna play that for $1. I mean, I got it for 99 cents. That's what I paid for it, and
choice.
A couple hours I've gotten out of it so far. I'm gonna play it again, and I'm gonna keep playing.
Nice.
So
Man, you just can't find physical PC anywhere.
You can't. And that's the beauty about where I live, is that you can find them, because I live amongst old people, like really old people.
Let me know if a copy of Neverhood shows up.
I know.
He showed me that game. It's really
I have that
cool.
game. I have that game physically, by the way, but I don't have another copy to give you, Larry. And that's kind of where I'm working at here.
So weird physical Neverhood fact. I have a copy of the Neverhood physically on Dreamcast.
Yeah, but not on. I remember when you got that, by the way.
Yeah, that was dope.
Jared's.
So he never managed to get it all the way working, but he printed some test copies, and he's like, "Here you go." So that was always dope as shit to me. Made me happy inside. All right, 2 down, 1 to go. This week, I've been getting into Tower of Babel. And not going to lie, I had low expectations when I booted this shit up. I did. It smelled of mobile game trash.
Okay.
However, it was not mobile game trash.
Ooh.
I mean, maybe it is mobile game trash, but I just enjoyed it, or it was like better than average mobile game trash. You decide. But For me though, it's an infinite runner. Well, no, it's not even quite an infinite runner. It's a runner, but it's a in levels runner. So your little knight's running up the tower as it spirals round and round, and so you're running up the spiral incline, and you're dodging shit. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty simple, pretty basic. I got to jump, I got to slide, we're good, nifty. You know, you get to the top of the tower and you push the button, the tower's collapsing, and then you start running the same thing back down the tower to escape. I'm like, all right, I got this. We're just gonna do this a bunch of times over and over again. And so I got to the next tower, and it wasn't just the same thing over again. I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Like they started throwing in some extra elements where now I've got lanes. I'm like, okay, so we've now layered in some more shit. And, you know, beyond that, it's kind of the same thing. You're running up the tower, you hit the button, the tower collapses, you run down to escape and all this shit.
Okay.
And so I get into the third tower. I'm like, all right, I'm not expecting it. Nope. You know what? Now we've got lanes and now we've got the basic shit, but now it's also throwing it at you from a behind your character viewpoint. So it cuts down the reaction time you get to have between seeing something coming at you and actually like dodging it and maneuvering around and shit.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm solidly impressed. Like this actually has a little more depth to it than it has any right to for the 99 cents that I paid for it. If that might have been like 47 cents, who the fuck knows? But the one part that got me, I'm like, this is weird. I'm not mad at it, but it's weird and out of place. The music. The music does not belong in this game. This is like kind of happy candy trance rave shit juxtaposed against little explorer dude running up the towers of Babel, and it looks like some Aztec background shit. I'm like, this is very out of place music. I'm digging it, but it doesn't belong here. But it's okay. And it wasn't just the same track over and over again either. Like they had different tracks for the different towers too. I'm like, all right, sweet. I can get behind this. I'm all right with this.
Sure.
So
Nice.
All right, floor's open. What you want to know before we close the book on this?
I think I'm in a good spot.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like,
I feel like I should be more vague so you start asking questions.
I want to know, like, personally, who would play, like, why did you pick this game? Like, did you just, like, it just, like, look like something good for you? Or did you just think, you know, like, I just want to know.
So I was totally skimming budget games on the eShop on the Switch, and I saw this one, and I'm like, look, this is not the bottom of the list. We'll try this one.
Okay. That's fair.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I've done
kind
that
of go
before, too.
through every couple of weeks, and I wrangle up a handful of, you know, games that are 99 cents or $1 and under.
Yes.
And I kind of, you know, skim the top of that selection for that week. And it happened to make the cut that week.
Okay.
Nice.
I just thought maybe
So.
something caught your eye about it, or, you know, other
And
than,
I mean, anything, if you get into like the mythos of the Towers of Babel or Babylon,
Yeah.
always tends to catch my interest, but this really had nothing to do with any of that. There is actually kind of a story thing happening there that wasn't bad. It's been a couple of weeks since I dabbled into this, and I'm hard pressed to remember the details, but I remember thinking, you know, that's not the worst story hook you could give for like a little infinite runner thing.
sure.
And as
So.
far as why I don't ask questions, it's hard for me to visualize stuff.
Sure.
So, like, you could describe it to me for days, and, like, I have an idea, but not enough to ask questions.
Sure.
No, it's all good. I was just making it funny.
I'm just letting you know that I'm not trying to just sit here and say nothing. Just,
No.
it's
I get it.
really hard. Like, I'm one of those people that if you're like, you know, think about an apple, I'm like, I couldn't clearly see one in my head. Like, I know what an apple is.
Orange. Just so you know. No, it's kidding.
But, like, and, you know,
I hear
but
you.
in my head, like, I don't see an apple. I see
Yeah.
me, like, at the grocery store looking at, like,
Looking,
the section of
looking
apples.
produce. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't just see, oh, this is what an apple looks like.
I hear you. Okay.
So you can describe this game to me, and I'm like, oh, you know, that sounds pretty cool, but because I can't see it, it's really hard for me to, like, dive into wanting to know deeper questions about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I will close this up then and say final verdict. I would play this for $1, and you should too, honestly.
Cool.
It's if this was on mobile, this would be like really decent quality for a mobile game, kind of mobile.
Okay.
So on Switch, it's kind of, bottom tier, but it's not like Infinity trash.
Okay.
God, that was awful. So anyways, well, that wraps us up for this week for I'd Play That for $1. I want to say thank you to everybody who came and hung out with us this week and tuned in. Thank you to my friends and cohorts, Zoe and Josh the LeGroux. And we will totally check you back here next week on I'd Play That for $1, powered by the World 1-1 Podcast Network. Press start to engage your mind. Good night, everybody. Peace.